Greetings all, and welcome back to another episode of the What the Fuck is a reborG podcast. I want to say episode 6, lost count, don't give a shit. Gonna keep rolling. Glad that you came back for another episode. No boy facts today. I really just wanted to go on a little rant. You know, every now and again I'm gonna be ranting about something that piss me off or irritate me. And today we're gonna talk about people who talk to you while you have headphones on. When I take boy out for his walks, I put my headphones on and I'm listening either to my iPod or my phone. But either way, I don't wear earbuds. They don't fit in my ears, and I don't like anything in my ears. You know, personal preference shit. But, you know, I have some skull candies that, you know, headphones that cover the ear with the strap. They're pretty plain to see. They're white, so everybody can see them. Why is it when I'm walking boy, people are asking me fucking questions and trying to talk to me? Like, do you see these fucking headphones, man? Like, they're white. You don't, and I got my shit turned all the way up, so I know you can hear this music bumping. Why the fuck are you even trying to, like, stop trying to start a conversation, man? I don't give a fuck. Some people I just ignore and just walk by. And isn't that because I'm an asshole? You're the asshole for talking to somebody with headphones on. If I see you coming down the street with headphones on, I'm either walk up to dap you up and see. If you don't move the headphones, there's nothing for me to say, because you're not listening anyway. So that's just something I want to get off my chest, you know. For anybody who's listening, don't be that asshole who speaks to the person walking around with headphones. Now, if they got on earbuds and you can't see them, oh well. But I got skull candies that cover my fucking ears. You can see them shits. I'm going to need people where I live to shut the fuck up and stop trying to talk to me while I'm out and about, alright? I'm walking this damn dog. I'm grooving to the music, trying to keep him from peeing on this leash or peeing on somebody's car, alright? Keep that shit moving. It ain't nothing for us to talk about. Okay, we're going to dive right into the sports section of our program. We're going to start off with the NBA. The season just ended recently, so I'm just going to go over the awards, who I think should win it and why. So for MVP, we're going to go with James Harden. You know, I think Harden has elevated the stats that he's already put up, and he's also got the best record in the league. You know, I know that comes from, you know, them adding Chris Paul, D'Antoni, opening up the offense and stuff. But for him to still put the numbers up he put up last year, and for them to have the best record in the league, I know Golden State, Curry's hurt, and they've dealt with some injuries this year. But I still would just pick Harden. He's putting up amazing stats, best player, best record in the league. I just go ahead and give it to him. For the Rookie of the Year, I go with Ben Simmons. I know people are saying that you shouldn't give him the award, but nobody said this shit when Blake Griffin did it. You know, nobody, you know, disputed Julius Randle's stats when he did it, and it's not a big deal. You know, just go ahead and give it to Ben Simmons, and I give it to him for this like 16-0 run that Philly has had, and just the amazing way they've played after the All-Star break, even with Joel Embiid hurt. I know that they've played teams that haven't been as good, and people keep saying it's the East, but these same people are the ones that saying Cleveland might not make it to the finals this year. So which one is it? Is the East not good? The East isn't good enough to stop LeBron, but it's good enough, you know. The East stinks to some people, and that's why Ben Simmons got these stats. But turn around, the East is good enough to keep LeBron from going to the chip. So, either way, it doesn't matter. Ben Simmons put up great numbers, even with Embiid injured. And, you know, I think they'll make some noise in the playoffs. I'm not saying they're going to make the finals, but I think they're going to cause a few headaches amongst people in the league. So, that's what I'm going to go with. And no offense to Donovan Mitchell. He's having a great year on the team. He's damn near did the same thing. It's just that this streak and them making it to the 3rd seed is, really impressive. Donovan Mitchell's doing the same thing, but just not as many wins. And he's playing great ball. They've had players injured at Utah, so much respect to him. Any other year, most years he will win. It's just not going to be this year, and it's not a big deal. A lot of players don't win Rookie of the Year. they're going to have great careers, okay? So let's just move on from there. Sixth Man Award, I'm going to give that to Lou Will. I personally think Lou Will should have made the All-Star team. I think it's kind of fucked up that he didn't. But, anyway, he's just as much as a threat as any starter in the league when it comes to getting those buckets. I'm pretty sure the Clippers finished over 500, so it wasn't like they were a bad team. They just played on the East. They just played in the Western Conference. Well, it went down to the wire just for the 8th seed. And, just on a side note, that was a great game. And it was good to see Minnesota going to the playoffs after almost 15-year drought. So, much respect to him. And like I said, Lou Will get Sixth Man of the Year. He really stood out at that spot. And kept Jamal Crawford for winning, a 4th or 5th time? Jamal Crawford is one of my favorite players all time. But, I still got to give it up to Lou Will, man. He made the Clippers respectable even when Blake was gone. So, shout out to him, man. Coach of the Year, Quinn Snyder. With all the injuries and the turnover of personnel on the court for the Jazz, just, the strong defense they played, just, him entrusting a rookie to be the number one scoring option on the team. He just showed a lot of character as a coach, and he showed that he can coach in this league. I remember Quinn Snyder because I'm a Duke fan, and I know he used to be an assistant, and he helped Duke get a lot of recruits during his tenure there. And he had a decent college coaching career. Didn't go as well as, I thought it would go. But he's showing that he's better suited for the pro game. And I think it's a well-deserved award. D'Antoni has done this already, so I don't think he needs to get another one. And his team is, his team is like that. So they're better than the Jazz on paper and on the court. So for Quinn Snyder to take his team, which isn't bad, but nobody expected them to, even get a playoff spot. So for them to be where they at, much respect to them. Defensive Player of the Year is Rudy Gobert. There's a reason the Jazz are, not a bottom dweller. There's a reason they're not going to be in the lottery. And it's because of Rudy Gobert's defense. He doesn't lead the league in blocks, but he alters enough shots, and he just shuts down the paint. I'm sorry. He just, he does things on defense that they don't have statistics for, And I think the Jazz lead the league in points allowed. They least points allowed per game. So I give up props to him. You should see him. Check the Jazz record when he's not there, when he had, caught the injury bug or whatever. And you will see that, he does make a difference. And not just on the defensive side, but as a team as a whole. He's changing the culture there defensively, and I think he deserves the award. I mean, this one was tough to pick because Anthony Davis is playing great defense. What's the name of the other guy? Durant's been playing good defense. Paul George has been pretty good. There's been a couple of players that's pretty good. I think Oladipo will get some consideration because, he leads the league in steals. So, I mean, it's been a lot of, good defensive players, more than I expected to be up for this award. But I'm going to still go with Gobert. And speaking of Oladipo, that's my most improved player of the year. He, a lot of people wrote him off last year when he was playing for the Thunder. And I'm not going to say it's wrong or it's unwarranted because I watched. He was out of sync. He didn't vibe with the team. He just didn't seem to be all the way there. But watching him on the Pacers, we watching a whole new player. We watching a totally different player. This is the player that everybody saw at Indiana and the player that, when he got drafted, number 2 in that draft, he's playing like everybody thought he would right now. The team's playing pretty good. They got the 5th seed, and they're from a Miles Turner development into actually being a real threat for the East. I think that's it for awards. Shout out to Russell Westbrook for averaging a triple-double for the 2nd year in a row. A lot of people say he's stat chasing, but he knows what type of team he has, so I don't think he's really concerned with ring chasing. right now. He wants a ring, but he doesn't have the team for it right now. And I don't think they have the coach because it's a lot of freelancing they do on the Thunder. They could be better. They have the personnel to be better, but I think it's down to the coaching. Another subject I want to get into, shout out to Markelle Fultz, being the youngest player ever to record a triple-double in the league. A lot of people call him a bust. And what do you think he was stat chasing or? He got it against scrubs. He got it, It doesn't matter. I don't credit Oscar Robertson for doing it at a time where he didn't have players up to his abilities. But that's what you're supposed to do when you're playing lesser competition. You're supposed to dominate. So, shout out to him. Didn't even think he was going to play this year. Man, outside of him shooting free throws, he looks okay. Now, those free throws, those are ass. You need to work on that. Get that hitch out of there because it's almost as bad as a Charles Barkley golf swing. Almost. Not as bad because to this day, I can still cry and laugh off Charles Barkley's golf swing. If I load that up on YouTube, it wouldn't take that long. It would be instant tears. I'm talking about loud laughing, uncontrollably. Shout out to LeBron. It's been a tumultuous year for him as far as the court goes. The rest of his team hasn't been playing up to par. And this is one thing I like to say about the little Jordan better than, LeBron better than Jordan debate. I don't have a problem with LeBron, okay? But I don't think he'll ever catch Jordan. Not at this point. It's too far along, okay? And this excuse wasn't brought up. People keep making the excuse, well, they play different positions. So what was this conversation when people were saying Jordan was better than Magic? They played, two different positions, this, that, and the third. I don't think that's an excuse. When it comes to me, I think Jordan is the best player to play in the NBA. He dominated. He did his thing, this, that, and the third. But don't take that as a knock against LeBron. That is definitely not a knock in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Because LeBron is still going to be one of the greatest players to ever play in the NBA. He may not be better than Jordan, but guess what? He has a lot of things that he's done that, to be top 10 all time or even top 5 is, that's not, so you're not better than this one guy. You still would be considered a great. I think I discussed this, but, just to reiterate, just to let y'all know, even though I don't think he's the greatest of all time, he's still one of the greatest of all time, So, shout out to LeBron. Keep doing your thing. You'll go down in history. NFL talk, not too much about it. Was real iffy. I heard, as a Raider fan, I heard Khalil Mack didn't show up to voluntary workouts. I know they voluntary, you come or if you don't. And he's probably just waiting for this new deal that they're panning out. But, that's just, I'm not too worried about it. I know he'll be there. I know he'll be playing. As far as draft talk, I'm going to wait till the draft actually happens. There's nothing much coming up that, I'm not going to fall for, any of this talk that they're doing. I'm tired of hearing Todd McShay and Mel Kiper doing all that talking. It's ran its course. I'm good, especially with so many other people, doing mock drafts and things of that nature. I'll watch the final mock draft they have, but I'm not gonna follow the 12 that they put out beforehand. I don't see it having any point. And switching over to baseball news, I watched that Yankees and Red Sox brawl. Okay, the first bench clearing, that was warranted because that player was spiking the Red Sox fielder on purpose. If you look at the replays, he blatantly was looking at his leg when he turned his spikes up and tried to spike his legs, okay? We're not going to sit here and act as if he did that on accident. He did it on purpose. And the second brawl, the guy who charged the mound, he got tagged up some. Now, the rest of the people grabbed up on the Red Sox pitcher's shirt. Can't remember his name, not going back to look for it, but, that was other people who did that. Dude who charged the mound, the dude he was fighting, no. no. He tagged him up a couple of times. It was pretty good. Everybody knows they have this rivalry. But the thing is, like, even when they change players, because both of those teams are good, so they're going to have turnover, making sure that they can stay in championship and playoff contention. So just to see how new players join the team and also join the rivalry was pretty good. It's not going to be a whole lot of striking baseball news, so this one was pretty good to have. And it was good to see a fight. I know I'm going to be considered ignorant for saying this. I like a good sports fight. I know as a man, you can get tested. And, I'm not saying nobody should fight or you should just be going out there to hurt people. But if you get pushed to the edge, what else do you expect somebody to do? And he beamed the shit out of him. So, there's a lot of people that would have charged him out. But I don't knock him for it. Going to the UFC, this talk of Floyd Mayweather fighting MMA is fucking goofy to me. I don't like it. Don't agree with it. That doesn't make me disrespect Floyd and what he's done as a boxer and all that. And if you want to do it, go ahead. It's your life. But I think he's going to be tarnishing his legacy, especially if he does MMA. He know damn well if he go in that ring, they're going to cut them legs off and submit him. He's not trained for this. He hasn't been doing this since he was younger. He's just been boxing. I don't see this working out well at all. And let's not forget, the dude is known for his punching power, and those little ass gloves are going to fuck his hands up. If you watch Floyd and you follow Floyd throughout his career, you know he can easily break those hands. He's taken some off his punches over the years to keep his hands healthier, because he's been known to fuck his hands up. So, hey, it's whatever. I watched the Khabib fight. I could see how some people would think that McGregor or Ferguson could, tag him up and, win by the points, but they still have to contest his wrestling. And you never know. He might be one of those guys who could just take a punch, just not get knocked out. He might can eat it. Or, he could get snuffed and end up on that Ronda Rousey side of the game. And the fact that I watched the highlights of her punching at WrestleMania was against a man was just hysterical, because we all know how that chin is. But shout out to Khabib for winning the belt. He's been trying to get it for a long time. So, I really think, he deserved it. And hope to see him, do some more fighting this year. Another fight this year just to see, because I enjoyed, his dominance coming up. So, anything else going on in the UFC, I think Cormier's fighting Mirdich. And I think that'll be pretty good to see, but until it happens, Khabib got it right now. Just to get off the sports, we're going to go into a subject. Somebody was asking me about movies. They said that I really don't watch movies currently, and I don't. It's not that I don't watch the movies, it's just that I don't go about looking to see them, because they're available all the time. Back when I was growing up, it was just always, didn't have the internet, and HBO was the shit. I've always had insomnia, so I'm up late at night watching any movie, and my dad is a cable fiend, so we had cable and we had all the movie channels. So it wasn't, just watching skin flicks late at night. I was really watching movies, just seeing stuff that I wouldn't, go to the theaters or, had that much interest in, doing that. So I'm going to go over some of my favorite actors. Denzel. I don't think Denzel Washington has had a bad movie other than maybe Virtuosity. Daniel Day-Lewis. I like Daniel Day-Lewis. He stands out in every role he does. I enjoy William Dafoe. He transforms. He makes the character his. It seems as if they write the character down as something else, and then he turns the character into what he wants it to be. And that's what it just works out like that. And the same thing I feel about Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman is another actor I enjoy. For a long time, I think he does the same thing as Defoe. He turns his characters in what he wants them to be, and he makes them his own. Except for when he played Sid Vicious. I enjoyed that movie, Sid and Nancy. I don't know how accurate it is, because, I wasn't, really relevant with what was going on at the time. So, I still like him as an actor. And another one is, Lawrence Fishburne, Larry Fishburne, either or. I've always enjoyed his movies, even all the way back to when he was the little kid in Cornbread Earl and Me. And then he was in, I forgot the war movie. Was it Apocalypse Now? I can't remember. Fuck. I enjoyed him as Jimmy Jump in King of New York. And even as a notorious wife beater, Ike Turner, I think he still did a good job acting wise. He's always been a good actor. I've always had respect for him. Even when he was playing fucking Cowboy Curtis on Pee-wee's Playhouse, I've always had respect for Lawrence Fishburne. I think he's a good actor. And these are not just the only actors I like. There's a ton of other ones. Vincent D'Onofrio, I like him. I like Cavell. The guy that was in he played Fredo in The Godfather. And then he was Pacino's boy, Dog Day Afternoon. He's only done 5 or 6 movies. I think all of them have been up for Academy Awards. But he's a good actor. Meryl Streep. I know a lot of people say, well, she's the token one to go to. But if you watch that scene where she cries, where she had to pick between her son and her daughter, and the cry that she lets out, it doesn't even seem like acting. It's like a natural mother's cry that you're giving away one of your children to be killed. So, respect to her. Leo, gotta have respect for Leo. Anybody with a track record like his, I think he's rivaling Denzel in track records of good movies. He's been good since What's Eating Gilbert Grape, so it's not even no smoke about Leo, man. Leo got skills, man. The same thing with Christian Bale. Oh, man, I can't remember that movie he did when he was a little kid, but that movie he did when he was a little kid, Something Into the Sky, he was great in that, and he's been a good actor for a while, Shout out to him. And another thing I wanted to put out is, there are some good actors, but there are also some actors who are just in good movies. I don't think that they're that great. They don't go to another place or turn themselves into, something else. Somebody like Jack Nicholson. I haven't seen Jack Nicholson play anything other than himself. I think all those characters are him. Does that make him a bad actor? No. But does that make him a great one? No, because he doesn't step outside of, himself. He always seems like the guy that he is in every role that he plays. Let me give you another example of somebody who does step outside of him. Denzel Washington's known as a nice guy, but there was nothing nice about him in Man on Fire. He was a complete and utter killing machine. He was an asshole because he didn't give a fuck about nothing but that girl. And just to step outside his nice guy image and to do that was something else. Malcolm X, he turned himself into Malcolm X. And when he didn't get the Academy Award, even at that young age, I knew the Academy was some bullshit. Because I've always been offended that John Travolta was up for an Oscar for his role in Pulp Fiction as the lead actor. And Samuel Jackson was considered the supporting actor. What the fuck? Samuel Jackson is the standout to the whole fucking movie. He has the best parts in the movie. John Travolta was just along for the ride. Now, did he stink? No. But he wasn't he was just there. He was just a decent actor in a great movie. And, that's just how that one goes. Same thing with Christopher Walken. Unless it's a comedy, I don't see Christopher Walken he seemed like that guy in every role. Even when he did the cowbells in Saturday Night Live, he was still him. And it's not a knock against him. He's a great actor. I seen him step outside himself in The Deer Hunter when they were having that Russian roulette. If you haven't seen it, YouTube that scene. It's amazing. De Niro killed it. Walken killed it. Even the little Asian dudes that was speaking whatever language, Vietnamese or whatever, they killed it. But that's just what I'm saying. Like different, like people who are just in great movies. Like Leo's had to change for like most of his roles. And that's I got respect for that. But some of my favorite roles coming up, watching movies, even some of the, recent ones that's been out. I love Tom Berenger in Platoon. He was the epitome of a badass. Like Sergeant Barnes was the shit. Even as the villain, you still thought he was the shit. He was just cool all the way through it. Another one is Gary Oldman in The Professional. Loves Gary Oldman in The Professional. Him playing that crooked cop was just crazy. And like when he found out that Leon had pulled those pins, and he opened it up and saw that he was getting ready to blow up, and just a casual way he said, "Oh shit," and then that just got blown the fuck up. Was it was funny, and it was like that's what you expect somebody to do when they do that. You open that coat up and you see all these pins being pulled. You be like, God damn. Another one is Kathy Bates in Misery. This bitch was crazy. You think your broad is crazy? Watch Misery. And let me preface this. I laugh at a lot of shit. A lot of shit that most people have not laughed at. That do not laugh at things that, happen. Now, I'm not one of those people who laugh at a dog getting killed or anything like that, because I almost stopped watching Game of Thrones once they killed them dire wolves at the what was that, the second episode or the first one? I almost gave up on that shit then. But like people, oh man, you can fuck people up. And when she hit James Caan's foot with that hammer, and the way his foot turned, I cried laughing. Still laugh to this day. But she did a great role. She was a crazy bitch all the way through. Like, the fact that he had to kill her was his only option. Like, it was nothing else for him to do. He had to kill this crazy bitch. And I'm only using that word because that's the best way to describe her. I'm not going to say a disturbed person or somebody with conflicting issues. She was a crazy bitch. Alright, plain and simple. But she did a great fucking role in acting. Kathy Bates is another good actress, excuse me. I don't want the PC principal from South Park to come fuck me up off that, Another role, Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York. He gives props because he stood out, even with Leo in the movie. And Leo the shit. But for him to step out, Bill the Butcher had a lasting impact on that whole film. I don't even remember Leo's character name. Now, right off the top, I would have to look it up. But Bill the Butcher was just the shit. That's just the way I'm going to put it. Javier Bardem as Sugar in No Country for Old Men. No Country for Old Men is one of my favorite movies. And the way he played that role, he was fucking menacing. He was cold. He was just what you expect a paid assassin to be like. Like, I don't know any paid assassins, but I'm pretty sure they gotta come as raw as that, because he was just fucking lifeless in that role. That means he done killed motherfuckers for a long time. He got at least 20 notches on his belt as far as murders go. But the way he played that role, he was just cold, and it was just crazy. Another one is Russell Crowe in Gladiator. Man, now that's a great movie, but he still stood out as Maximus. Like, he was just, I'm gonna just keep using the same thing, the shit. He was just somebody that you looked at and you was like, oh shit, this is, he made himself a memorable character. Somebody that you want to see him in another movie to see if he can pull the same thing. Or you want to watch this movie even though you've already saw it countless times. That's how the greats happen. It's either a good movie and you just can't get enough of it, or it's a mixture with the great acting and you just can't get enough of that actor being great. Another one is J.K. Simmons in Whiplash. Man, that's another one. I don't even remember Miles Tiller's character name. I don't remember what the fuck he was at all. Outside of the drumming, I don't know his character. I can't give you his name right now. But what J.K. Simmons did, he was amazing. He was just an asshole teacher. And I know a lot of people might knock him for it because he was just the same and just as fucking ruthless as he was in Oz. But this one was different because he couldn't kill nobody. He couldn't kill nobody. And, just the way that he was able to do it in a lighter setting was still, admirable. He did a good job. And another one I'm going to get into is Morgan Freeman in Street Smart. Now, a lot of people know Morgan Freeman is the dude who's been old forever. And when he did this movie called Street Smart, he plays a pimp. He's fucking amazing in this movie as this pimp. You won't look at Morgan Freeman the same once you see him do this shit, because he actually looks like he spent some time in his life pimping. Because the way he was getting down in that was just good. And for those of you who don't know, Street Smart is a movie where it was a serious role for Christopher Reeves after he had did Superman. So this was a chance for him to show his range, get some more roles and, open up his portfolio and his repertoire as an actor. But Morgan Freeman pretty much outacted him, and he became famous off that role. That's how good he was. I think he was up for an Oscar. For those of you who use that as a basis of somebody's role being good, it wasn't me. It wasn't that for me. Even if he didn't get nominated, he was just great as a pimp. And a side note, another great pimp in the movie, Wings Hauser and Vice Squad. Not a great movie, but a funny movie. And as far as funny goes, I'm going to save funny comedic actors and funny movie roles and things like that for another pod. Right now I wanted to get more on the serious side of things, what I had, going on upstairs and what I had recently saw as far as movies go. But if you watch Vice Squad, it's hysterical. I like watching old movies. That's just me. Movies that I wasn't around for. It's easy to watch a movie that's out now, and you can understand all that. But for you to go back and watch something from the 70s or the 80s, so it gives you a different look at what was going on then. But shout out to all those movies, actors, actresses. Keep doing your thing. We'll keep enjoying. And I'm gonna save some other genres of films on the later date, because I want to go over gangster flicks and comedies and action movies, because that's just how I'm gonna separate it. But on to another day. Glad that y'all came to join your boy. Y'all be easy and always continue to support the pod whenever you can. Send a like. Don't give a fuck if you don't. Listen, if you don't, spread the word. If you don't, I'ma just keep doing my thing. Like I said before, be easy.